Hello and welcome to another round of the Virtual Drift Championship. My name is Craig. With me as always is Tanner. What's going on, dude?
Oh man, it's been a great week. Super excited to be here. And I mean, round 7 already. Where has the winter gone?
Yeah, absolutely. We've only got two more rounds left, including this one. And we're almost ready to send them for qualifying here. We'll pull up the line map for Misano. And as you can see, the start of the track there at the bottom right-hand corner of the screen. And with a nice run-up for drivers today. And a lot of room for them to make a nice entry in and really carry their momentum through the entry. And through this big, long, sweeping turn. And then down into your first inside clip at clip 2. Transitioning back into clip 3 while not leaving that inside rumble very much. Drivers want to come off of it just a little bit to give themselves enough room to make the transition into outside zone 2, which is again at clip 3. And you see a tiny little decel there, which is really just meant to show that drivers can make a very slight checkup there to settle in the car through that transition or after, and then get back on throttle as soon as they possibly can to drive down into clip 4, then work their way back out to clip 5, your next outside zone, transition back across the track in another one of those tiny decel zones to set themselves up for that ending wall run there at clip 6 and finishing on the outside. So a very particular line that the drivers will have to stick to today.
Yeah, they're really going to have to stick on it and make sure they try to maximize as many points as they can with such a short course, but very fluid course. They're just going to have to stick with it and really dial that car in, and hopefully they had enough practice.
Absolutely, and we'll bring up the qualifying rules. If you're just now joining us for the season, drivers are given 2 non-consecutive judge laps to qualify. Highest score counts. So normal qualifying, rules here until we get down into the categories. Each qualifying run is judged on line, angle, and impact. So a different, criteria there with impact. And of course, line is still the same. It's the ideal path a vehicle must take throughout that course that is marked by the inner clipping points and the outer clipping zones. Angle is the amount of angle that the car, carries throughout the run. And then impact is that, replacing style, and the emphasis on the category is to reward those aggressive drivers who demonstrate excellent car control at all times and, all through their run.
Yeah, I really like this change with impact this year. It's the whole impact of the run itself instead of that style that we were previously using. So it's a nice change. I've really enjoyed it.
Yeah, absolutely. And then the last little change in our qualifying is each judge will score the entire run with a maximum of 100 points, rather than each judge getting, a particular criteria. So a little different there. And then all 3 of those scores get, averaged up into one score to give each driver their qualifying score. But it looks like Russell Jones is at the line and ready to go.
And our first run here of round 7, Russell Jones in his S14 coming down that straightaway, ready to get initiated into that first quick outer zone right off the initiation, holding a good line as he comes through that first inside clip, making the transition now. Looking good out there as always is Russell Jones as he puts it right up on that wall, nice and deep in the outer zone before finishing out his first qualifying run.
Yeah, a good start for Russell Jones there. We'll see what type of score comes through to start us out for Group 1 here. And look at there to start it out, a 91 for Russell Jones. And we're on to Oliver Eppinger. Having his purple E-Spec Supra here. A nice initiation and entry here. Sticking to that rumble strip there. Very nice in transition and grabbing that inner clip. And throwing it along the wall. Bounces off of it a little bit, but still manages to finish on the outside. And run one down for Oliver Eppinger. Again, we'll see what type of score comes through for him. And a 92 for Oliver. Wow, scores starting out really high this round. And yeah, it looks like we're going to skip over Jordan El Nasser. I don't see him in the server. And Sarunas is at the line ready to go. Yeah, I believe Jordan is going to get a 0 for his first run, unfortunately.
Yeah, sadly he will, but we have Sarunas Trevicius ready to do his run in that beautiful Mustang. It's great to have him back here as he initiates into that first outside zone. Good line as he draws through that inside clip, transitioning now through the next beautiful fill in the zone. Sarunas looking really on point today. Let's see how he does on the wall ride, putting that wing over the wall and finishing out the run.
Wow, go ahead, Sarunas. I believe we've missed him for the past couple rounds, if I remember correctly. So it's nice to see him back. And let's see what type of score pops up there. Bottom left of your screen. 89.7, solid run for Sarunas. And on to Daniel Mora. See the lights flash 3 times. Nice and slow through the chicane. And smooth initiation from Daniel here. Sticking to that line, going a little wide there. Manages to grab clip 3, that outside zone 2. Filling that one as well. Nice transition into this final wall run. There he goes, finishing his first run of the day. And 83.3, not bad for Daniel Mora.
Yeah, not a bad score at all as we start to level out to the bottom half here of Group 1. Lucas is up next here in this beautiful Simtex S15 as he initiates in with a flick entry, going through that first outer zone and beautifully through that first inside clip. He looks to be on a good run here as he pushes way out, and now to get up onto that wall and holding it nicely around that whole wall ride as he finishes out that run.
Yeah, Ukash looking super settled there in his first run. I think the score will pop up for him. As you mentioned, Semetics on the side of his car there. It's actually Ukash's own company, and you know, making really nice sim rigs. Go check that out. I've been working with Peter for the past couple of years, spotting for Peter Vincing and FD and T-Mech, and there it is, 88.3 for Ukash this first run. We're on to Brandon Williams. Oh no, oh my goodness. I think, yeah, judges are just going to let him go ahead since it's qualifying. A little embarrassing there for Brandon, but he's going to keep going. Nice and tight to the inner clip. Grabbing the outside zone. Goes a little wide there and slight bobble. Gets into the outside a little late as well as that one, but riding the wall, giving it a little tap there at the end. Finishing out his first run.
And finishing out, indeed, that little tap there. I mean, Daniel Mora showed us why he was going slow through there. Those cones are solid; they do not move, so it really sucks when you hit them.
Absolutely, and then to get that, you know, big giant car through there. It is 81 for Brandon.
Yes, an 81 for Brandon. He's probably going to want to improve that on his second run. But next up here is Austin Meeks in that Corvette. Little shallow on that first outside zone, but a lot of angle and speed here through that first inside clip. Not as deep as he could be in that second outer zone, but really pushing for it on these last two, putting it right up on the wall. Look at the angle that Austin was pulling out on that run.
Yeah, that was saucy there at the end from Austin. A little safe through, I guess, you know, the beginning part of the course, and yeah, it's gonna reflect there. 79.3 for Austin, but yeah, good way to finish out that run. We're on to Russell Jones, currently sitting on a 91. He's going for his second here, filling that first. Took him a while to get settled in, but he's settled now, filling that second outside zone and grabbing inside too. Good transition across to the wall there. A nice finish from Russell Jones. See if that is enough to better the 91. Gonna fall maybe just a little shy. Overall, still a great run. Oh, and excuse me, I apologize. 92 for his second run there.
Well, the guy who's sitting on a 92, Mr. Oliver Eppinger here, coming for his run, his second qualifying run. Lots of speed through that first outside zone, coming a little shallow on that inner clip, but making it work here through the rest of the course, really pushing out deep into that outer zone. Now for the wall ride. Nice, just putting the wing right over the wall and finishing it out for his second run.
A good job once again by Oliver Eppinger there. And a 90 for his second score, so he's going to stay in second place just behind Russell Jones, but both of them with a 92. We're on to Sarunas for his second run. Sitting on that 89.7. And big initiation from Sarunas here. Full commitment through that first turn. Great transition. He is going to go just a little wide for inside too, but fills the next outside zone. Nice transition across to the wall, and he'll finish out his second run. I think it's sort of guaranteed we will see him in the top 32 later on with those two runs.
Yeah, maybe that little break is what he needed. He is looking really good out there. So now we have Daniel Mora, the king at showing us how to get through those cones safely. As he comes for his second run here, sitting on that 83.3. He's going to want to improve that if any of the other rounds have proven us different. But looking good out here for his second run. Really committed as he comes for that last outside wall run, but falls a little short near the end with a little bobble, maybe touching the wall. Hopefully it's enough to improve his score, though.
Yeah, it looks like he gave the wall just a little tap as he, transitioned to it, but he's still going to end up with 87.3. Betters his first score, and we're back around to Ukash. His second run, trying to better at 88.3, really going for it on the initiation. If it pays off, he stays on the correct line, goes a little wide there, but manages to make that transition smooth. Filling that zone as well. Really settled in here. There he goes, finishing out on the limiter.
Really putting it into the wall on that one.
Yeah, he was buried in that pocket, waiting on that score to pop up. And a 93, he's going to move himself up into that number one position.
Yeah, good job there from Lukash as we have Brandon Williams now coming for his second run, sitting on an 81. So Brandon got to give it everything here for this second qualifier run, as he's on a good line so far, grabbing that inside clip. Good transition. Can he hold that speed up, getting to that outside zone? Now for the wall ride in that big JZX. Crossing the line. Let's see what he can get for this second run.
Yeah, I think that should be enough to better the 81 that he previously had on his first run. Let's see. And there it is, a 90. He'll move up into fifth position here in Group 1. And here's Austin Meeks. He needs to better the 79.3 if he wants to guarantee that he gets a spot in that top 32. Whoa, big initiation from Austin there. Stays on the right line. Ooh, makes the transition late though. He's going to go wide. Or inside clip too. Makes the last and final transition up along the wall. And he'll finish out run 2. So it may be enough to better the 79. But have to wait and see what the score is going to be. And if it's going to be enough to push him on into top 32 later on today. And at 85.7. So not too bad of a score for Austin Meeks. And that's going to do it for Group 1. So Group 1 down and done for already. So we're going to take a very short break, and we'll be right back with some more qualifying. All right, we are back. Got the next group loaded up. As you could hear, Pontus, just destroying his limiter there, leaving the line. But yeah, some high scores in Group 1 here. Ukash on top with a 93, Russell Jones with a 92, Oliver Eppinger with a 92 as well, but that lower second score. Sarunas with a 90.7, Brandon Williams with a 90, Daniel Moore with an 87.3, and Austin Meeks with an 85.1. And if you're just now joining us, this is Group 2. Just loaded in, and Cal Fonseca is going to start it out for us for Group 2. He's on the line, ready to go. There goes the lights. There he is through the chicane. Big initiation from Cal, going really wide there. It's going to tuck back in. Make a nice transition, though, and get back on the correct line. Filling that next outside zone. Great transition along the wall, stuffing his bumper a little bit as well, and finishing out his first run of Group 2 here.
I mean, looking at these drivers, I think Group 1 kind of set the pace for the rest of the group. They realized they got to come out and give it all and just get as many points on the board, which could be why, KO kind of went for that speedy, let's lay it all out there run. But I mean, 86.7 is still a great score from him. Next up is Raman Katastrenka. In that little Penguin BMW. Good initiation, a little wide there for that first inside clip, but holding it together for these next three before transitioning one last time and putting it up onto the wall. And not a bad start there from Raman Katastrenka.
Yeah, not at all. Looking pretty settled there. A little safe here and there in his first run, but yeah, he's going to get some points on the board. It's not going to be too shabby, I don't think. And 88.7 for Raman Katastrenka for his first run here in Group 2. There we see Steven coming to the line. His RX-8. Still rotary powered. You can all hear it now. And just burning them down the run up. Good initiation. Great line here through turn 1. And solid transition. Almost, yeah, he does over rotate. Has to make a big correction there. Doesn't quite grab the outside zone. And then goes a little too deep along the wall. Bounces off of it a little bit. And that's going to end his run there. But let's see what type of score he ends up getting. 76.7 for Steven Hatcher to start things out for himself.
Yes, Steven's really going to have to button that up on his second run. We have Dan Dirks now for his first run in this GT86. Initiating in, looking good so far. Good angle and line into that first inside clip, along with his transition. A little hesitation there as he gets back on throttle, trying to push it out to that second to last outside zone. Then really putting it on the wall, dragging the bumper all the way around it before finishing out.
Yeah, he went a little too deep there in that last and final outside zone. But held it together okay. 79.7 though. He'll want to better that if he wants to guarantee himself that spot in top 32. And here we go with Alexander Holzner. Is the same car that can be found in the public 2.0 car pack from us, the Virtual Drift Championship. And he's looking good in it. Does go a little wide after inside clip 1. But buttons it back up. Grabs that outside zone. And good transition to finish out his first run of the day.
Alexander has just been on a tear these last few rounds, so hopefully he can keep that momentum going.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see what type of score comes through there. Other than, going just a little wide there after inside clip 1. A very nice run from Alexander there. It will be very important though for lead drivers later on in battles to not do that. And there it is, 84 for himself. But when that lead driver goes wide after inside clip 1, they really got to check up before they make their transition, which can choke off the chase. But here's Kazuki.
Yeah, Kazuki Fukushi in that Toyota Celica, beautiful car to have out here. Looking good so far, good initiation and good transition here into this latter half of the course as he makes one last transition there for that wall ride, putting it deep into the wall and then bouncing off it a little bit there for the finish.
Yeah, that was deep. Almost sticking his wheel through the wall there. And 90 for Kazuki. Good score for Kazuki. He'll move up into that top 8 into 6th position. Here is Tikon. Strobes on. Ready to send it for his first run. Look at that initiation from Tikon. And just so settled into that angle. Great transition. Yeah, he gets the inside clip. It looked like he was going to go wide for it, but he buttoned it up. There it is, filling that last and final outside zone along the wall with some style. Tikon Pileski, let's see the score on the board here. Imagine he'll move on into that top 8 we see on the top left of the screen. And there it is, he moves into the number 1 position with a 93.7.
Good run from Tikon now for the last of the first runs in Group 2 here. Adriel Machado coming in for his initiation, filling that first outside zone, trying to get that angle settled in for the transition. Can't really do it, had to back off the throttle completely. Gets back on it now and starts rebuilding that speed, that angle, putting the car where it needs to be and finishing out that first run.
Yeah, he was certainly washing out there after inside clip 1, and that's a thing the judges really hit on in the drivers' meeting is to not wash wide after that inside clip 1, and we see why there. You have to really check up and slow the car down to get it back, up into that outside zone, and goes there. But he still gets a 80.3 on the board, and we're on to Gael Fonseca for his second run, trying to better the 86.7, and look at the initiation there. Yeah, certainly going for it, but it doesn't pay off this time at all. Almost going, on the opposite side of that inside clip. He gets it back together, but that may be a 0. It was extremely inside. He could get some points on the board, though.
Maybe a few. It might be a major deduction, just because I know in drivers briefing there they were talking about drivers not putting those front tires on that rumble strip. So I'm betting anything it's going to be a big major deduction.
Yeah, and there it is, 75.7. He does, still get some points on the board, but it will be certainly a lower score, and we're on to Roman Katastrenka.
Yeah, Roman Katastrenka coming back for his second run. Good initiation, sitting on an 88.7. Look at that angle coming into that first inner clip, but a little wide for it, not as tight as he could be, having to get on that left foot brake to settle out that car from that last transition as he puts it up on the wall and finishes out that run.
Yeah, Ramen looking good. He was looking good in practice last night as well, and I believe he was on this morning before the event. And 85 on the board for Ramen for his second score there, so a good tiebreaker if he needs it. And we're quickly on to Steven Hatcher. He needs to better the 76.7, and he's looking good here through turn 1. Nice transition. Grabbing that inside clip as well. There it is. Into the pocket on that last and final outside zone along the wall.
Yeah, there's a run I expect from Steven.
Absolutely. That's the Steven we know. Let's see if it's going to be enough to better the 76.7. I imagine it will be. Maybe enough to move him on in. Yeah, look at there, a 94.7. He is now in that number 1 position. After, kind of a low score for Steven for his first run.
Just trying to button it up, but he made work in that second run. But now Dan Dirks sitting on a 79.7 as well, kind of in that danger zone, going for his run. Going a little wide there for that inside clip, but the rest of the run is looking really good and really dialed in here as he comes to that last outer zone and crosses the line.
Again, not too bad for Dan. That may be enough to better the 79.7 for himself. Previous rounds have been around, look at there, 88.7 for him. But yeah, as I was saying, the previous rounds, you really need like a 86 minimum, I think has been the lowest this season. And here we go with Alexander sitting on an 84. So be safe, he may want to better that score, and he's certainly going after it here for a second run. Grabbing all those outside zones, right into the pocket along the last wall. Finishing out, again, his second run of the day.
Yeah, could have been a little deeper into clip 5, but, I mean, wow.
And there it is, yeah, 91.
91 for Danders. Great job by him, showing us, you know, why he's qualified first in the last few rounds. As we have Kazuki Fukushi going for his second run, already sitting on a 90. So Kazuki's just going to go for it here as we see him ripping through the course in this Koitus Leica. Ooh, putting it a little too hard into the wall there, bouncing off it, but not upsetting the line, and he stays in it.
Yeah, really bounced off of it pretty hard there, but did a good job to hang on to it and stay in drift. But yeah, 80.3 for his second score, but still sitting on the 90 and just outside of that current top 8. And here we are back around to Tikhon Pileski for his second run. Got knocked off the number 1 position by Steven Hatcher. Let's see if he can put himself back up there. Super precise run so far here from Tikhon. Transitioning a little late. Yeah, has a very small bobble there along inside clip 2. Oh no, and into the wall, straightens up. And that's going to shut Tikhon's second run down. Wow, a very uncommon thing for us to witness from Tikhon here in qualifying, but you know, that's the name of the game, right?
Wow, I think that's the first 0 I've ever seen Tikhon get, and that is shocking. It just shows the level of competition in the Virtual Drift Championship. As we have Adriel Machado here now for his second run, sitting on an 80.3, going wide for that inside clip at the very beginning as he tears through the rest of the course here, almost doing the same thing as Tikhon, hitting that wall and having to get back on throttle to hold it through. Hopefully it'll be enough to improve on that 80.3.
Yeah, that was really close there from shutting the run down as well. But yeah, I mean, there it is, 71.7 for his second score. Adriel just having a tough time with that turn 1 and coming around that first inside clip. Washed wide on both the runs and had to settle back in. But that's going to do it for Group 2. Again, we're going to take a very small break while we load Group 3 in, and we'll be back with some more qualifying. Alright, we are back. Got Group 3 loaded in, and we've had some big scores today. Again, with me is Tanner. Tanner, what's been going on, man? These the Group 1, I mean, we had several 90s to start it off with Group 1.
Yeah, Group 1 really set the pace for what round 7 here is. I mean, it's the penultimate round for us, so I mean, they came out strong, you know, with 92, 90, 90.7s, just really going hard. And then, you know, we come into Group 2 where a few of the guys were struggling a little bit, but then really buttoning up the runs on their second one, with Stephen Hatcher coming out with that beautiful 94.7. And then T-Con, who we all thought was going to go after it, going into the wall on the last turn and getting a 0, which is a huge shock for a lot of us. So it's anyone's match still. The points are still close.
Yeah, absolutely. And we could actually have a championship winner today. You know, not to put any pressure out there, but Alan sitting number 1 with, I believe, 53 points ahead. We'll get to it after Reese's run here. And big initiation by Reese. And flying through turn 1. He's going to go way wide there after inside clip 1. It's going to make his transition late and go wide for inside clip 2 as well. But there he is along that last and final wall run, putting you know, extra little oomph on that run with a couple of mistakes there throughout. But yeah, I was saying for Alan, if he wins this event and T-Con goes out grade 8, we could have a champion here in round 7.
Yeah, it'd be crazy to see, but right up now we got Nick Tasvikar. The cars are sending fast because they all want to get out there and do some drifting. Good line from Nick Tas through those first 2 clips, but a little late on the transition there coming to this latter half of the course. He tries to put the car on the wall, bouncing off of it the whole way around though, trying to keep control of it as he finishes out his first run.
Yeah, overall, Nikitas looking a little better. He's improving each and every round with that car, and yeah, not a bad score there. 82. He definitely wants to better it just a little bit if he wants to be safe, as again, 86 has been the minimum this season here in qualifying to make it into top 32. But here's Tobias Thermosen, and super settled in his E46 here. Nice transition across, a little late there, and again, that's going to push him wide for inside 2. And a nice finish from Tobias there in that last and final outside zone. Wait on the judges to see the score for Tobias there. And 89 for Tobias. Not too bad at all.
Yeah, very good run there from Tobias. As now we have Zach O'Sullivan coming for his first run. This man has also been another guy who has just been on fire this season, as we can see that here in this run. Great line through those first 2 clips and the transition, putting the car exactly where it needs to go, falling a little short on that last outside zone before finishing out his first run here of round 7.
Yeah, just didn't quite fill that last outside zone, but overall, very solid run, and it was still a good line coming into that last and final wall run, and there it is, a 90.7 for Zach O'Sullivan on his first run. Here we go with Yuna back in his giant BMW here, but he's been doing fantastic this season in it. Smooth initiation there, good line through turn 1, buttons it up and grabs outside 2, and inside 2 as well. It's a really good and smooth run here from Yuna. Not too bad to start it out for himself here in round 7.
Yeah, Yuna really doing what he does best in that big BMW, and he's just so dialed every time he comes out on that track. He always looks super smooth, so it's good to see him also doing the same here at the Misano circuit.
And look at there at 91.7. It's going to put him into 6th position.
Wow, good job there from Yuna, as we have our next car up here, Christian Petrov in that Inertia S14, coming flying through the first 2 clips as he makes the transition along that outer zone through the next inside clip. Doing a good job here, carrying a lot of speed through the course, but putting the car right where it needs to go and crossing the line.
Not bad at all from Christian there. 89.7. Quick score coming through there. We're quickly on to Jonathan Simpson. Jonathan taking a little break from the VDC as well. And here he is back in his awesome Subaru he has built for himself. Very talented 3D artist. Good driver as well. Filling that outside zone there. Good transition to this last and final wall run, and he's going to fill it all the way, giving the wall a little tap there before crossing the finish line. And 85.7 for Jonathan.
Not a bad run there from Jonathan. Good to have him back and running here in the Virtual Drift Championships as we have our final driver of Group 3 for the first set of runs, Abdulaziz Al-Harbi, really making work these first two inside clips before transitioning down to the next inside. Could have been a little deeper on that inside clip as he transitions to get ready for that wall run. Trying to push it all the way out there, playing a little safe around it, but overall a good run there from Abdulaziz.
Yeah, absolutely. Abdulaziz is a little bit of we call him a sleeper driver. He can, pop up and take people out quickly. And there it is, 89.3 for Abdulaziz. We're quickly on to Reese Tatterson for his second run here in Group 3. Good initiation from Reese. Doesn't go wide after inside one this time. He's sticking to the line that the judges want to see here in the second run. And look at there, just buried along the wall. Wow, Reese Tatterson, okay. Trying to move on into the number 1 position. And 91.7 from Reese.
That's the runs we expect from Reese there. I'm happy he buttoned it up there on that second run and just really went for it, which is what I think everyone here has to do today. Is we have a crazy initiation from Niktas. Niktas really throwing it in there, waiting to the last second to throw the car and start drifting on this course, as he is really tearing through it here, making work, going into the wall a little deep though, but not unsettling him as he finishes out that second run and sitting on an 82. So let's hope he can better that score from that run.
Yeah, it seemed a little better. It was, almost borderline there on the initiation and almost being too late. And so score is going to be 75 there for his second run. So we'll have to wait and see if he, makes it into top 32. But we always enjoy seeing him out on track. Here's Tobias for his second run, currently sitting on an 89. Doing a bobble there across inside clip 2. Whoa, and over rotates. Sort of hangs it together. We'll have to wait and see if judges will give him a score for that with that over rotation, and then of course straightening there at the end. And they're gonna give him some points, but a very low score of 63.
Yeah, that's definite understanding from the judges there just for that over rotation. So now we have current rookie of the year Zach O'Sullivan going for his second run, sitting on that 90.7. He is really wanting all the points he can get. Beautiful line to those first two clips as he transitions, and he's really on it, filling all of that outside zone this time as he comes deep onto the wall. Beautiful run by Zach, really making a statement with that one.
Yeah, absolutely. Coming really close there to shutting the run down along that last outside zone and that wall, but he hangs on, and 91.3. That's going to put him in 8th place currently. Solid score for Zach. Very proud of him. Just old school Forza player, hopped on to a set of courses, picked it up extremely quickly, made it through Bushido, and now he's here in VDC Rookie of the Year. Here's Yuna on his second run. If he can better the 91.7, Yuna also doing very well this season in this big giant BMW of his, and there it is, second run down, and very consistent from Yuna.
Yeah, every time Yuna gets on the track, he always puts the car exactly where he needs to be, does the run, and pulls out scores like that.
Yeah, 93 for the second score. That's going to put him in 4th.
Going for his second run now, Christian Petrov sitting on that 89.7, already pretty safe, but I'm sure, as every driver, they want to get that first spot as he really puts it into that inside clip. Beautiful angle, good transition, making work of this course is Christian Petrov as he makes one last transition to put it on the wall as he comes across the line.
Yeah, absolutely. Very good run from Christian. One, I guess, small little note, though, that massive angle after inside clip one is something the judges don't want to see from the drivers, as it really checks up the car and you start to decel before your transition, so it hinders that chase driver a bit. So that's probably where those that small deduction came from. But still a good score, 89 for him. And Jonathan flying through turn one here for run two, grabbing outside zone two as well as three, filling that one all the way out to the track edge, and there he is into the pocket of that last and final wall run and across the finish line. Again, sitting on that 85.7, he will want to better that just a little bit, and he does. An 88 for run two.
Yeah, good safe score there for Jonathan Simpson. As we move to our last run here of Group 3, three more groups left to get through. Abdulaziz Al-Harbi sitting on an 89.3. Good flick initiation as he brings it through that first inside clip. Lots of speed, though. Can he get the transition done? He does, as he comes through that next inside clip through the outer zone. Now for the wall ride to finish out Group 3, Abdulaziz Al-Harbi.
Finished it out nicely. Again, still sitting on the 89.3, which should be fairly safe. Although we are seeing a lot of 90s this round. We've led the whole entire top 8 there into the 90s. 89.3 again. Did I see that right? It is going to be 91.3 for run 2. So that's going to do it for Group 3. Again, one more break for Group 4. Again, we've got a total of 6 groups today, 47 drivers. So again, we'll be right back with some more qualifying.